This is a really interesting pattern that I found for working effectively with LLMs. Okay. So we start with some raw input transcription that contains like some open-ended free flow dump of everything that's in your brain about a project. Like it can be a draft for it can be something like a draft for slides. This can be, an article outline. It can be all sorts of stuff. Okay. And the idea here is that we're going to take this raw input transcription and we're going to use, usually I do that on my phone directly. And we're going to put that into ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, whatever model you use. Okay. And the idea is these models are going to detect the actionables. So they're going to detect the actionable elements within this raw dump that you did. And they're going to write a little task list. Okay. So from this task list, we're going to offload these tasks to agents. Now, in my case, I use Python code to execute these tasks with agents, leveraging some frameworks and stuff. But you could do this with Claude Desktop plus MCP. You could do this with Manus. You could do some of these things with Gemini or some of these things with ChatGPT. The idea is that the agents are going to execute the tasks. And when they execute the tasks, you compile the results. You compile the results into a location that's context specific. So you compile the results and then you save it to a strategic location. What do I mean by strategic location? Essentially, I mean, let me just put it back here. I mean something like the folder where the article is, or for example, the location of the slides, etc. You save that somewhere that you can easily integrate back into whatever you're doing. So the project could have been the slides, some code that you're working on, whatever it is. Now, by doing that, you now, instead of having to individually go out and do each of those things, like searching the web for information they were looking for, etc., you had agents in a distributed fashion execute all of those things for you. And now you can just go back into focusing on the project itself, and all of those individual tasks were done. And you can perhaps do a refinement of the project, refine the article, refine the slides, do a next iteration, and focus only on the core thing itself and not with these individual manual tasks that you would usually have to perform in sequence. So that's a pattern for working with LLMs that I think is quite interesting. Cheers.